Okay everyone, so we're exploring the contextual level of analysis for Heart of Darkness, and we'll begin here by examining Conrad's life, pleasures, passions, adventures, and how they influence his writing in Heart of Darkness. Okay? Okay, so Conrad was born in December of 1857. Now, his dad was a political activist who resented the government under which he lived. See, they were Polish, and Polish people were discriminated by the Russian Empire. His father actually joined a rebellion against the Russian Empire, which actually resulted in his parents and himself being exiled to Siberia a few years later. A few years later, his parents died of tuberculosis, and Conrad ended up moving in with his uncle. When he joined school, his teachers found him to be extremely intelligent, but he wasn't a very good student. He didn't adapt well to the routine, except for geography. So his uncle decided that he needed to join a trade, and that's how he became a sailor. Once Conrad was old enough, he joined the French merchant marines and trained as a seaman. It was during his time in secondary school also that he learned French and became fluent in that language. He learned some Latin and German, and he also learned a lot of world history, and he learned about different cultures around the world. And from there, he served as a French merchant marine for 4 years. And because of some of his writings alluding to gun smuggling, people actually assume that he was involved in some of those gun smuggling operations within the French merchant marines. Also, you have to note that during his secondary schooling, he developed a worldview because of being well read in British and French literature, and also literature that came from his native Poland. And by reading about his Polish heritage, he developed even more resentment for the Russian Empire. There was a problem, though, that he actually couldn't return home because of the Polish discrimination under the Russian Empire, and he would have been actually forced to join the Russian military service. So he left the French merchant marines and joined the British Empire instead, and served as a merchant marine under them. This is where he picks up the English language, the language that he chooses to write in his adoptive country after he is granted British citizenship. But anyway, during this time as a sailor, Conrad travels to many places and meets several individuals, traders, merchants, and sailors and the like, who are featured in several of his books like The Nigger of Narcissus, Almayer's Folly, Typhoon, Youth, and The Shadow Line. It's during this time period that Conrad takes charge of different ships and sails to numerous places around the world. Now, there was a 3-year period where Conrad was actually assigned to work with a Belgian trading company to serve as the captain of a steamer on the Congo River. He was really excited about this voyage because it was a new frontier and he had never seen anything like the Congo before. However, after his journey, that's when he becomes really disillusioned by imperialism, and we see that reflected in Heart of Darkness, which he actually writes 9 years later. In fact, he actually documents all of his findings in the Congo in his journal, the Congo Diary, which he used as a direct source for his book Heart of Darkness. He meets several Belgian soldiers, such as Klein, Bartlot, Tip, and Stanley, and Leon Rom. All of these men are considered by the writer of King Leopold's Ghost to be important influences on the character of Kurtz, whereas the character Marlowe is actually influenced by him. Conrad reflects his disillusionment with British imperialism by describing Marlowe as a man who went mad in the center of Africa.